What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec, and this video is going to be showing you how to set up Sysmon to block unwanted files from being created on your computer. You can block them based upon file names, so if it's like a pdf.exe, you can block specific directories, you can even block specific programs from having the ability to create files on your computer. It's a really powerful thing, and Sysmon, I guess, is turning into an EDR, I guess, technically. But the major downside is without Elastic or Splunk, a lot of these alerts are really hard to act upon because you just don't know about them. So this video is going to show you how to set up scheduled tasks with event filters so you can get alerts in Slack when files get blocked by Sysmon. And the major benefit to this outside of the file getting blocked is you now have Sysmon on your system. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of companies make is without centralized logging, they don't install Sysmon because they don't see value in it. But if there ever is an incident, I want that local system to have Sysmon because it's going to help me in analyzing exactly what happened so much. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Let's jump in. Before we start playing with Task Scheduler, we have to actually install Sysmon and configure it to block some things. So I'm just going to go to Microsoft's page, download Sysmon, and then I'm going to copy it into System32. So we can copy and then go to System32 and just paste it. And then the next thing is we have to get a rule file. And I always like going to Florian Roth's page for this. Go to a Sysmon export block, which has a bunch of rules to block files. And we can download it and save this. So let's do file new, paste this in, save, and I'm going to go C:\Windows System32, and we'll do sysmon config block.xml. And if you want to look at this rule, it's super easy to understand. You just look at the image block section, and we can see we're blocking writing to these directories. Looks like music, pictures, videos, and contacts. Maybe we want to remove these because we don't want to block people from writing into pictures. A lot of screenshots go there often. So if we wanted to, we could remove that rule. I'll leave it in. We can see we're also blocking extensions like pdf.exe, doc.exe, blocking known bad files that hide Sysmon, and then file hashes of a bunch of programs like Mimikatz, Petit Potem, Rogue Potato. This is blocking, it looks like, Office programs from dropping executables, so stopping like phishing attachments, things like that. So there's a lot of really good rules here, and if you just deploy this on your network without doing any type of notification system, you'll probably get a lot of angry users because chances are there's going to be some of these rules that you wanted to remove, like maybe writing into pictures, for instance. And maybe I am misinterpreting that, but I don't think so. So now that we have that saved, we just open up a command prompt and then go into Windows System32, and we can say sysmon-i and then the sysmon config block, and it's sysmon64. So now we accept the license, and Sysmon has been installed. So if I go to Event Viewer, we can see Sysmon probably saying a lot of things. And it's in Windows Logs, Application, and Services, and then I think Microsoft after this, then Sysmon. Microsoft Windows, Sysmon, and here is the log. So we can see the process create rule and things like that. So what we want to do is test this block out. So I'm going to go PowerShell, and I believe I have a web server up. So I'm going to go curl 192.168.58.230. I think this is just a box on my network that has something running. So we'll do ipsec.pdf.exe and try to write it to C:\users administrator downloads ipsec pdf.exe. So we're trying to write this file. If I do a dir in my downloads folder, we see it doesn't exist. And we didn't get any type of error message. And if I refresh, we see it's been blocked. So now what we want to do is get alerted anytime this is triggered. And if you've watched my canary token video on the task scheduling piece, this should be relatively easy. So we're going to create a new task and we're going to call it file block. And I'm going to change the user to system and just run with highest privilege. And then we're going to create a new trigger. And we'll do on an event, custom, new event filter. And every time you click these things, it takes a few seconds. It's really annoying how slow this is. I'm not sure why it is that way. And then before I go to XML, I like always selecting the log I want to do, because how log paths are determined is a bit weird. So it's just easier to do it this way. Let the GUI do as much work as it can. You also don't make typos when you just click things, which is always a plus. So we have Sysmon operational checked. And then if I click XML here, we can see what it does. So I'm going to edit query manually, and we're going to change this. And I'm going to put, what is it? Star, then I think data event ID is equal to 27. And the reason why I choose 27 is that is this event ID. So we're going to save this. And then under actions, whenever I test something, I always just do command prompt and send a message. So C:, Windows System 32, cmd.exe, and then we'll do /c message administrator. That's the user I'm on. And it's going to say woot. So I should have done please subscribe, but oh well. So we have that event. I'm going to run this curl command again. And if we did it correctly, it would say something. But it did not. So I'm guessing we did not do it correctly. So let's go back to our custom event filter, edit event filter. And now let's look at the event and go over to details, XML view, and event ID is under system, and I put it, I guess under data, which it's not at all. So let's do system event ID 27. So this one will get triggered. I know I probably should not have said that because I jinxed myself. Of course I did. Has not been ran. So let's check this out again. Go back to the triggers. And it's going to be something silly. If we edit event filter and wait for this to load. And it wouldn't be so painful if that was actually a quick process. So star system event ID. I wonder if this is case sensitive. Let's try this. Okay. Run it. And there we go. So it was case sensitive. That is one of the more silly things. And this next piece, I think, is an undocumented thing of these tasks. Because if you look at the properties, there's no good way to get arguments. And how I figured out to do this is exporting the actual event. I don't know what just happened. I clicked export and my task said, what? The computer is not on my side today. So right click, export, and we're going to go to desktop. I'm going to call it file block, and then I'm going to delete this because we've exported it. And we actually have to edit this file manually to add some secret sauce in it. So edit with Notepad++. And right after where subscription ends, we're adding a new field called ValueQueries. And we can do a /ValueQueries as well to add that field. And then we're going to do value name is equal to, and then what the variable we want is. So I'm going to go back to my event log, and we probably want to get probably the username. So user is going to be the first one. So value name user, and then event data / data. That's just going to get us into the data portion of the event log. And then we do @name is equal to user as well. And then we kill this value like that. And we're going to do that for all the fields we want. So let's go back here. We wanted the user, we want image, and target file name probably. So image, and then target file name. And I'm just going to check my casing on that real quick. Image is capital, T and F are capital. So I think that is all we do here. We could make this pretty by tabbing this, but that's not needed. And then we can go back to Task Scheduler and import this task and import file block. And if you look at everything in here, the value queries isn't going to show up anywhere. It's just one of those hidden things. It's super bizarre. But now we can specify variables, and it's $ then parentheses. So we have user tried to save target file name on, what was the last variable we had? Let's check this out. Image, target file name. So it's not on, it's from. And this was image. So let's save this. Okay. And now we'll rerun our thing. And we see administrator tried to save IPsec PDF exe from this. So now we have a complete event hook where we actually get variables. So here we can actually start importing this into our Slack hook so it goes to the channel. And you can do this with like canary tokens. You can do it with everything you want. Slack has the benefit of when it's created, you can then reply to it and everyone can see it in real time. So that's why we're going to put it into Slack. But I am going to cheat a little bit here and use the pre-built webhook from my Slack video. So we're going to pass in a few variables. We're going to pass in username. I'm just going to call it U for short. And that's just going to be args, I want to say 0. Maybe it's 1. We'll find out. And then after username, we have the file name. So I'll just do args1. And then the last one is image. So args2. So username, we can replace this with U. And then backtick N, we have file name, and that's going to be FN, backtick N, and process is going to be I, like that. And I think that all works fine. See, I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing here. Invoke REST method. Oh, automated alert. We want this to be file save blocked. There we go. And now I'm going to go over to CyberChef. CyberChef. Actually, before we do that, we can test this out. So before creating it on the event, I'm going to do file save as, and we'll just test this webhook. Is there an all files? Where is all? There we go. Send message.ps1. Okay. And if I go into my home, documents, send message ps1, and we're going to say IPsec please subscribe. Okay, and we have a new webhook. And let's see, host name, username, file name, and process. So everything looks great here. So next step is CyberChef, because we want to encode this in Base64 just so we don't have to worry about escaping any quotes and things like that. So PowerShell always does UTF-16 little endian when it does Base64. So first we want to encode the text there, and then just say to Base64. Where is that? This is going slow for me. Okay. And then we can copy this whole thing in. And we have our Base64 here. So as long as this isn't too long, like we don't hit any like size requirement in this one field, I think everything's going to go perfectly, right? So it's a joke. If you've watched my videos, you know nothing ever works the first time. So C:\Windows, I think PowerShell's in System32, then like Windows PowerShell v1 PowerShell.exe. And I think no profile and ENC. And, oh, this is going to be tough actually, because we're exiting the program and the arguments, since we're Base64 encoding it, won't work. But I have a crazy idea that may actually work. So we have to replace how we handle these arguments because we just don't have access to arg0, 1, and 2. So let's do param, if I can type, and then parameter mandatory. And then the first one's going to be a string, and we'll call this please sub. And we're only going to pass one string in because we don't want to terminate based upon space, because there's a lot of paths that have spaces in them, specifically program files. So I'm just going to pass one long string, and we're going to split that upon a character. I'm going to say it'll be split upon the @ sign because I don't think that's used all that much. So we say these three variables is equal to please sub, and then dash split @. And we'll see if this works. So we have to copy this, and I'm going to go back to CyberChef, paste it in. And I think I'm on like a Trojanized version of CyberChef. It's supposed to be GCHQ. So I wonder if that's why this is going so slow. But we have this long Base64 string. So now what I want to do is say /c, and we're going to put the parameters. So we did user, then what was the second parameter? File name. So this will be target file name. And then the final one is going to be image. And we want to echo this. And then we pipe it over to PowerShell no profile encoded command. So maybe this is going to work. Probably not the first time. Let's change this over to be CMD. And we're going to do our crazy argument. So, okay, okay. And then we can go back to the curl. And, well, we got a message, but there's nothing in it. So something did not work here. Let's see. So CMD, let's copy this. I should disable the line wrapping here. Let's see. We echo user @ target file name, that looks good. I wonder if the no profile is removing our environment. So let's try removing the NOP for no profile and just pass in straight ENC for encoded command. And then run this again. And still nothing. So it's not the no profile. What else could it be? We should try just running this on command prompt to see if it has any errors. So cmd/c, we have 2/c's. There we go. And we have a few. The term user is undefined. Let's just get rid of the special characters. There we go. And passing this in, we can see it's not getting anything. So it's within our PowerShell code. So param, I'm going to try two things. First, I'm going to remove the spaces there. I don't think that's it. But I'm also going to put the variable please sub in the message first. And then I want to copy this. And let's Base64 encode it. Copy. And I'm going to paste it here. And I guess we can just try it straight with the event and hope for the best. Click OK. Do the curl. Hopefully we get a message. Wait a second. It worked. But that shouldn't have worked. Where's the please subscribe at first? I am so baffled right now. I have no idea why the first please subscribe did not come through. So this is the command we're running. User at, yep, that's good. Let's go to the real CyberChef. Let's see. Where is it? I guess I should use Google for this, because here's the real link. I think it's because I'm on Bing that that other link is going first. But we want to go from Base64 and then decode. And we want to decode UTF-16 little endian. And this is what I had before. Okay, I'm getting even more confused. So let's copy this. I'm going to close that out completely. Actions, edit. Copy. Okay. Now we just go back to CyberChef. And let's get rid of the non-Base64. So yeah, this is what our string is. So I guess I screwed up on a clipboard when I was doing the full please sub. Because like the message, am I just blind? No, message doesn't have that. So let's copy this again, just to make sure when you guys do it, you have good code. So here's this. We're going to paste this in. And now we want to, sorry about that. That was my phone. Encode. Encode text. UTF-16 little endian. And then Base64. encode it. Okay, actions, edit, PowerShell. We have no profile as well. Okay, okay. It's saved. Run it, and watch it not have any arguments. Nope, it works. So I'm guessing when it came with no arguments, the task did not fully save yet. But now we can see whenever something gets blocked, we get alerted in Slack. So the last piece of this video is going to be doing pretty much the same exact thing, but deploying it through group policy so it goes onto all of your computers. And this is going to be a pretty annoying task because we got to do pretty much everything over again. I'm going to copy this, and there's probably a way to export and then import this event inside of a group policy object. I'm not exactly sure how to do that, so I normally just recreate the event inside of group policy. But I definitely want to make sure I copy everything important out of this. So let's go into Notepad++, paste this. Whoops, I meant to delete that line. There we go. So open up GPMC. And then I'm going to, let's create a new GPO. I'm going to call this schedule task, I guess. And then edit. And we go to user preferences, control panel settings, schedule tasks, new. And we want to do a schedule task at least Windows 7. If you do the other one, you don't have all these advanced options. So let's change the user group to system. And then run at the highest privilege, whether the user's logged in or not. The name, this is going to be notify upon blocked processes. Okay. The triggers, new, on an event, and custom event filter. Come on. It's not the quickest thing. I feel like the group policy one goes even slower. Come on. Okay. And we can go to XML, edit manually, paste that in. And we need an action. Go to new. And we want to start a program, cmd.exe. And we want to run this whole thing. Apply. And then now we have to go and edit the XML file. So that's going to be in sysvol. Sysvol of your domain controller. So my domain is called high rule. So I can do that /sysvol. And then it's under policies. I'm going to sort by modified to get to the newest one. And then user preferences, schedule task. And we can edit this schedule task. And we have to find where we want to. So it's right after subscriptions. And I'm going to copy it from our working copy. So let's edit this file as well. And we want to copy ValueQueries after subscription. Save this. And now, hopefully our schedule task is going to be deployed. So let's go back here, delete this one. And we will run a gp update / force. It's updating the policy. It should appear right here. Computer has been, now it's doing the user. And I don't think we got it. Uh-oh. So that normally means probably bad XML. Or maybe it didn't save because I didn't close it fully out. Let's edit this. If we go to Preferences, Control Panel, where's Schedule Tasks? So I think we have it. Run GP update again. Okay. Schedule tasks. And oh, it is here. Notify on block process. I'm just blind. So we run it. And we should get a message. There we go. That is good. And then if I refresh this, we're going to see it's this one that ran. So last runtime has been ran. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Take care, and I will see you all next time.